Hello and welcome back to our Aserai playthrough. Now, you may not be thinking that it's that much Aserai at the moment, but I have consistently checked before every single episode to try and see whether the Aserai have decided to declare war against anyone, and that's the problem. They actually haven't done anything like that. It's very strange. I'm actually not entirely sure what the Aserai are doing right now. As you see, my huge army of camels. Yes, look at this. Look at these camels. That's absolutely crazy. Anyway, yeah, as I said, this is obviously going to be, well, a little bit of a problem. That's the reason why I generally tend to try and join a faction that has a lot of mercenary action, at least initially. Because then you're going to be able to get a really good amount of cash. That's one thing that I have to say to anyone that's just, you know, starting to play the game or wants to know about how to make money a little bit easier or something like that. Basically, just join a faction that has a lot of war going on, and just join them as a mercenary and just make a bunch of battles. Just go into a bunch of battles and you know, see what you can do there. Because that's really going to make a huge difference to your overall nest egg, and you're going to be able to, you know, invest in a bunch of things. Obviously, you could do the peaceful route instead, which, well, does have some benefits there too. The peaceful route, you know, being, you know, just get a bunch of caravans, do trading, don't become a mercenary for any reason, because otherwise you're going to have my situation where, you know, people are just eliminating your caravans over and over again, which is obviously not exactly what you want, is it? No, that is not exactly what you want at all. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, as I say, I really do want to join the Aserai, but it's very difficult to do that when they don't have any war going on. If they had some war going on, I would think to myself, yeah, okay, I will join them as a mercenary / vassal, and then we'll see what's going on with them. But they don't seem to be doing anything at all, which is really sad. I really have no idea. The only thing that I could do is maybe push them into some kind of war situation. You know, I could do a little bit of manipulation in that regard. But if I did that as a mercenary, they'd probably kick me out. But if I did that as a vassal, I would lose a lot of honor. And possibly, I think you would, yeah, I'm not sure if it's a lot of relation, but I do believe you do lose some relation with, you know, with someone, probably the liege himself. So that's not going to be the best thing ever, but yeah, that's the reason why we're not currently running around with the Aserai. Because if we take a look at the kingdom screen, I'm actually just going to show you the diplomacy screen after this. I'm just going to let this guy go, as is our custom now. And I'm going to be taking all these prisoners, thank you very much. I've basically just been doing that. I've just been running around fighting as many vassals as I could get my hands on, and caravans, by the way, a lot of caravans, and I've just been attempting to earn as much renown, as much cash as I can, and that's pretty much it. I actually wonder, no, my mercenary contract, whoa, look at my mercenary contract right now, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, so let's go to the kingdom screen, go to the diplomacy. So as you can see right here, we're actually at war against two different factions right now, and they're obviously losing really badly. As you can see, the Botanians are not looking very good. Southern Empire is not looking very good at all. I'm actually really surprised that the Western Empire is doing so well, considering they're at war against two different factions. But I guess color me surprised on that. Britannia is only at war against us, I believe, whereas the Southern Empire is at war against the Northern Empire too, so it kind of makes sense that they would be a little bit weaker from that. These fellows are at war against the Khuzait, the Northern Empire as well, so they're also on you know, war on two fronts, basically. Then you have Vlandia, who's at war against Sturgia, and same thing with Sturgia, they're just fighting each other. And then the Aserai are not doing anything, as you can see. They're literally not doing anything at all, which is super weird. And then obviously the Khuzait are fighting the Northern Empire, and that's basically it. So my my assumption here, or my diagnosis for the time being, is for us to literally just continue what we're doing. Just stay as a mercenary right now, and I'm actually going to be creating a party out of Zemina here. I'm actually thinking that maybe her creating a party might result in some fun situations. Maybe we'll get some nice influence from that as well, because I think she can actually earn influence for us, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe they changed it. Anyway, plus 10% damage in a simulation battle or on plains, steppes, and deserts. It depends. It depends where you want to fight. If you're fighting in Sturgian and Botanian territory mostly, then you obviously want to go and get this. But if you're fighting in every other place, you know, so deserts and Khuzait territory and so on and so forth, you probably want to take this one. I'm going to take this one because I think this is a little bit more, shall we say, a little bit more common, because you're only going to see snow when you're in Sturgian territory, and you're only going to see forest when you're in Botanian territory, and those are only two factions, whereas you're going to see, well, I mean, to be fair, you are going to see forests in quite a few places, so yeah, maybe it would make sense, but I'm going to go for the decisive battle here. Then we have a leadership perk. What do we want to go for? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? We're probably going to be going for leader of the masses, even though I do not own a town right now, but we are going to be getting that extra 5% experience from battles shared with the troops of our party, which is obviously going to make things a little bit easier for us, and we're not actually going to be recruiting any prisoners of our own faction anyway, so leader of the masses kind of makes sense. So that's what we'll do, and then we otherwise have Firebrand or Flexible Ethics. They actually nerfed this particular perk. If you saw my thoughts video, then you'll know that they nerfed this. And then I went on a huge rant about how perks should be reworked, but we're not going to touch upon that now. Anyway, Firebrand, minus 25% influence cost to initiate kingdom decisions. This, okay, I'm gonna make one comment on this, okay? This doesn't matter, okay? This literally does not matter at all. Either one of these do not matter, because in the end, and I'm talking about late game here, I'm talking about when you are a vassal, I'm talking about when you have a town or a castle or both under your command, you don't care about influence. Or at least I don't, because I'm swimming in influence at that point. I literally have, you know, thousands of influence points because I'm just defeating everyone left, right, and center. My town is giving me influence passively. If I've gotten a decent amount of charm skill and I have immortal charm, that's also giving me influence. There's so many different ways to get influence. These two perks are just really not that useful. The only thing that I gotta say that is useful is the secondary effect that what we have here, which is the +1 recruitment slot from rural notables and urban notables. This obviously just very much depends on if you recruit from villages or from towns. For me personally, I recruit from villages much more often because they're the ones that actually have the noble troops instead of the peasant troops only. So we're going to be taking Firebrand for that specific purpose. So there you go. Anyway, I'm hopeful actually that my explanations as to why I do things are going to be helpful to some people, because I do get a couple of questions every now and again, and you know, someone asks, oh, you know, why do you do this thing and why do I do that thing? And that's when I've just decided not to actually explain that particular action that one time. So I hope that this is a little bit informational and a little bit helpful to some people. I don't know whether it is, but hopefully it is, because that's the whole purpose of it. I'm not actually explaining this for people that already know about that kind of stuff. I'm explaining it for people that don't know, just in case, because I like to be helpful every now and again, or at least some of the time, most of the time, I don't know. Maybe none of the time. It could very well be none of the time. Maybe, but don't tell me that, because that would be sad. But I'm just kidding, of course, but yeah, it would be nice if I was actually helping someone out there. Anyway, let me see if we can do some damage. I mean, look at this. Look what? We just did 500 damage from a headshot right there, and that is just purely because we're just getting that increased damage bonus from the headshot from what is it? That polearm perk? I can't remember what the polearm perk is called actually, but it's pretty insane, whatever it is. And it's just so funny because that's actually something that I have touched upon as well in the past, where I've said to you, I've said this beforehand, so maybe this is going to be me being a bit stuck like a broken record or whatever, but here's the thing. If you hit someone on the head, you're probably already going to be killing them. Probably. Because if you just, if you think about... Oh! That was hilarious. Good work, sir. Oh, I'm actually very, very pleased that they knocked me off my camel there. I'm actually really pleased about that because it's been such a long time since we've had anything happen to us. Oh, that's actually great. I'm not being funny, by the way. I'm not being sarcastic or anything like that. I actually do mean that. I think that is an absolutely fantastic the little change there. I love it being a little bit dynamic sometimes, because when I just get hit and I just go riding on and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's fine, that's good, you know. I'm happy to just continue riding on because I get to continue having fun in the battle. But when I get hit off my mount, like in those situations, I like to try and survive. But unfortunately, I just couldn't get up in time and that got me killed, which is sad. But, you know, that's just the way of things, you know, isn't it? Anyway, we're just going to be taking all of these. Unfortunately, I can't take all of them, and otherwise we're going to start moving extremely slowly, which is going to be very sad indeed. Anyway, this fellow is actually going to become a party member in just a second. I'm going to actually make him into a party member rather soon. And look at that. We've already had another child. We've had 2 children so far, which is pretty amazing. So hopefully we're going to get something going with that. Oh, hello. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. We've got a peace agreement with the Southern Empire. Well, I wasn't fighting them anyway, so that doesn't really matter to me. 8,100 for our prisoners. We gained a skill point of roguery, which also reminds me that I am actually going to be going over... Look at that, 35,000 from this. That's absolutely incredible. Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to change this, increase melee damage against mounted troops. We're going to do that. We're going to use that instead. And then we're just going to sell a bunch of our trade goods because we have a huge amount of it from just, you know, murdering so many caravans. But yeah, what we're going to do after this is we're going to go and try to raid some villages. Because I did this in the previous episode, and I was actually very surprised that we had such a good amount of feedback from it. Because if you think right now, you know, oh, we're not really getting that much roguery skill from selling our prisoners or anything like that. And that's true. But if we raid a village, it actually has a really good, surprisingly good at least, amount of skill gain, which is really surprising. But anyway, we're just going to hope that Hasid and Zamina will actually be able to do something relatively decent here. I'm not really expecting them to do much at all, but... well, we can just hope, can't we? Anyway, we're going to go in here and we're going to see what we can do. Okay, so yeah, look at that, 7,000 for that. That's absolutely incredible. Okay, so we're going to have to fight these. Shall we fight them or should I just auto-resolve? I actually kind of feel like maybe I should have just auto-resolved it. Sometimes fighting in the village is worse than actually auto-resolving. I know. You know, if you've been coming from Warband, then you never really want to auto-resolve in any single respect. But in Bannerlord, it's a little bit more forgiving in regards to what you end up losing. But yeah, maybe in this case it would have made sense. I don't know, because these villagers are really not going to be... I mean, you can see here exactly what they are. They're just militia for the most part. And militia are, well, not very useful at all. Anyway, I was actually going to say about the whole headshot thing with the polearm. Just very quickly, it's going to take me 10 seconds. You hit someone on the head with a polearm, or with any weapon actually, and you're probably going to be killing them almost instantly anyway, so having an additional 50% damage as a result doesn't really help you, does it? It just makes the overkill so much higher, which obviously does feel quite satisfying. You know, it feels quite satisfying to hit for 500 or however much you're going to hit for, but from a practical standpoint and from an efficiency standpoint, it doesn't really do much. However, I do have to say that the one place that I feel that perk is really, really good is in tournaments. If you're having problems doing a tournament with a spear, like for example, let's say you have a spear and maybe you're not particularly good with a spear, like I'm not particularly good with one. Well, I'm okay at them maybe now, but I used to be pretty awful. But let's say that you have a spear and you're going into the battle and you only have a spear, you don't have a secondary weapon of any kind. Well, this perk is going to make a huge difference, because of course you're not using your own weapons, and you know, the polearm you're getting in the tournament round is going to be pretty low damage. Whereas this perk now makes it possible for you to be able to just burst them down, and it's really, really nice. So that's the one place that I can think of where it's actually going to be really useful, because it doesn't actually come to you that early in leveling polearms. So if you want to use it for, I don't know, if you want to use it for like early game or something like that, when you actually have really, really bad gear and you've got a polearm that is just some random broken spear or something like that, well, that's good. That's good, but unfortunately the polearm skill and the perk itself only comes at a much later point. So that's the reason why I say, you know, it's probably only going to be that. Ooh, wait a minute. Hello there. All right, wait a minute. Let's have a look here. He's got 20 Oathsworn. This guy's got some Falksmen. And this guy's got Oathsworn as well. Haha. If I'm correct, I think the Oathsworn are the highest tier of... Yes, they are. This might be a bit troublesome. They are equipped with spears. And there's another one over there. Right. Okay, they're actually going to go in against me. I have to end the raid. Gonna end the raid, and we're gonna run away. I'm not disorganized? Huh. Okay. Why am I not disorganized from going into that battle? Okay, I think that's a little bit weird. That's very strange. I wouldn't have expected that in a million years, because usually whenever you do anything, you know, when you go into a scene and you've done a battle or a siege or anything like that, usually you are afflicted by the disorganized state. But in this case, I wasn't. So what does that mean? That's very weird. Okay, what's actually going on here? Why am I giving these things over here? Why am I giving my camels back here? What? What actually happened with that? That was weird. Anyway, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to take my higher tier prisoners here. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Let's just take that. There we go. All right. So yeah, anyway, very weird that we didn't have the disorganized state. I 100% assumed that we were going to be going into a battle there. And I was bracing myself for the possible defeat that we would be facing because, well, let's face it, we were actually really... I don't know, I feel like we were in a bit of hot water there. I thought that we were probably going to, yeah, we were probably going to be defeated. But apparently not. They, I don't know, they didn't give me the disorganized state for some reason. So yeah, I guess that's kind of weird, but oh well, never mind. Okay, I mean, good for us, right? Good for us, but bad for them. Alright, well, I guess the best thing for me to do now is maybe just to raid this village instead then. I'm just going to auto-resolve this time around. Yeah. It did give me five deaths, but I think that's fine. I think that's alright. Okay, so let's see what happens. Are they going to come over here? Are they going to try to fight me? I mean, funnily enough, I could literally just end the raid and then just run away. I didn't know that that was the case. So that means that potentially, if you think about this from a... maybe from an early game standpoint, if you can deal with the villagers that are inevitably going to attack you, if you can deal with those, then you could just leave anytime a vassal turns up, and then you don't have to actually fight them. Which is a pretty crazy, I don't even know, advantage? I guess it's an advantage. I wouldn't call it an exploit, I guess, but... it does seem a bit like one, to be honest. Okay, yeah, so this guy doesn't like raiding villages. We know that. Unfortunately, he doesn't. It's a bit sad, really. Anyway, we're going to fight this guy because he's going to be a bit too harsh for us. Otherwise, we did end up losing quite a few people in that previous engagement. But we are doing an amazing job of getting massive amounts of renown right now, which is obviously my main concern here. My main concern is to get as much renown as possible. That's usually what you want to do in the mid-game. Well, technically you want to do this all throughout as much as you possibly can. You want to try to get as much renown as possible, and that's generally the reason why I say, you know, doing tournaments with the 25 charm skill perk, that's far and away the best way to earn renown. It's the fastest, in my opinion. Obviously, there are a number of different ways that you can do it. Maybe better, but they are riskier. And for someone like me who's not particularly, you know, I'm not a quote-unquote pro gamer when it comes to, you know, the combat in this game or anything like that. So generally, those kinds of methods are maybe not going to be as accessible as doing a tournament, because you just get 6 renown straight up. Just get 6 renown every single time. And obviously with the new changes, I'm not sure if the tournament is going to be as accessible nowadays. But you could then look into the other methods, and I'm not going to detail them here right now, but there are a number of other ones that you can do. For example, trade skill, caravans, workshops, and so on and so forth. They can give you a lot of renown if you have the appropriate perks. And they are probably going to be maybe actually better than pretty much anything else, apart from preying upon minor factions, of course. But yeah, anyway, these guys literally they're just getting absolutely massacred by our forces, but unfortunately my people are not really doing too much damage with their polearms here. I was kind of hoping that they'd be a little bit more effective. But this fellow does have a lot of Falksmen, so maybe my people are being a little bit afraid of them. They're going to be very damaging, as we've seen in the past. Falksmen are some of the most damaging units that you can find. And they always seem to absolutely murder me, no matter what. The Oathsworn don't seem to be that bad, actually. Maybe I didn't need to be too worried about that particular engagement that they were getting me with, but I was a little bit worried about basically just being, you know, outnumbered. That was the main concern there. As you can see, look at that damage. 46 damage just from an arm attack. Yeah, they really know what's up. Anyway, I'm just going to speed things up a little bit here, and then we're probably going to be fine. And I'm hopeful that they're actually going to finish it off. There we go. Yeah, not too bad. All right, so how many did we actually lose? Not even that much. And we got 18 renown for that, 22 influence. And actually killed 25. We're getting a lot of kills right here. I got more kills than any of my other people. So that's actually pretty cool. And we've got a lot of reasons to say, yes, we like this. And wait a minute, what is this? Yeah, I don't really want to rescue any more Imperials, if I'm honest. I would much prefer to just leave them where they are. We'll take the prisoners, though. And there we go. Alright, let's move on. Oh yeah, actually, there's one thing that I want to mention. The new system of crafting weapons. Here's the thing. The new system is great if you find loot that is legendary. Okay? So like, for example, if you saw there in my looting screen, there are these legendary throwing axes, right? I can sell these for 2,000, which is actually incredible. It's really funny as well because it seems like you can find legendary items quite easily. So they're quite common, and then you can sell them for a lot of money, which is great. Obviously, it's great for making money, right? However, as someone actually mentioned, and thank you very much for telling me about this, because I didn't actually think of this at the time, but someone told me that the one problem with crafting weapons and attempting to get a legendary affix is the fact that I think there is a polearm, I think you mentioned a polearm or something like that, where the best possible handle is actually a really low tier one. And as I covered in my thoughts video, basically, if you mix and match too much with, you know, higher tier and lower tier parts, then it will take the average. So a legendary weapon cannot be legendary if the average weapon tier is lower than 4.5, I think. I think it's 4.5 or 3.5, I don't know, either one. And otherwise, if it is lower than that, then it will get downgraded to Masterwork or downgraded to the one below that. And so that actually makes sense because you said that the handle is a low tier handle. And the low tier handle is the best for that particular polearm. And that indeed is a bit of an issue. But I guess, as you said, you're just going to have to make do with the the Masterwork one, you know, because you can obviously, you know, use the Masterwork one if you prefer that, or shall we say, if you have to, you know, if you have to do that. Anyway, let's actually just take a quick look. Yeah, I've got 250 in riding skill now. That's very nice. Okay, so let's have a look. Plus 20% armor to my mount, or plus 50% resistance to getting staggered while mounted. I actually like that a great deal, and I think I will probably be taking that. Yeah, I would definitely be taking that, because you could see here, plus 5 armor to all equipped armor pieces of mounted troops in your formation. This is absolutely insane, in my opinion. I think this is going to be really, really strong. Anyway, we've got one more focus point. What do we want to go for? We could go for leadership. Could go for charm. Scouting is looking okay at the moment. Athletics is okay as well. I guess I'll go for leadership. That seems to be, I don't know, maybe charm skill? Maybe charm skill? Yeah, I'm thinking maybe charm skill. Let's go for the charm skill. The last point in that seems all right. And who is our current steward? Yeah, we have Arwa being our current steward. She has, as you can see, only 62, which is not very good. Yes, it is not very good at all. So I'm actually wondering, is there another companion? Is there actually a companion in the game that has a high amount of steward skill? Because the only thing that I know of is basically just picking a spouse that has a really large amount of steward skill and then just using them as your quartermaster. That's the strategy that I've mostly used in my time playing. But I guess there are some companions, but I haven't come across any, unfortunately. So maybe it's not going to really work out too well for me. I don't know. But yeah, basically anytime I see a caravan, I'll just do like you just saw me do right there. And I'll just go in with an auto-resolve really, really fast, get them dead, and then just move on. Just take them all prisoner. Thank you very much. Massive amounts of them prisoner right there. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of sorting here, unfortunately. I didn't really want to have to do that, but we're going to have to sort by tier for the moment. Get rid of these guys. There we go. That's what we're going to have to do, because I don't want to lose the mounted ones. The mounted ones are going to sell for so much more. As you can see, look at that, 10,000. We actually gained another point in roguery skill there too. And now we can just sell all of this loot. Look at how much money we're making. Look at this money. It's absolutely insane. There's a caravan ambush as well. Should we do the caravan ambush? Why not? Let's do the caravan ambush. I think that seems like a pretty fun idea, and a quick one as well. This is going to be very, very quick indeed. If I can actually do it properly, because there's been a number of times where I haven't actually done this properly. So yeah, we'll just go straight on in there, do a nice little auto-resolve, take them all down, and look at all these mounted troops. This is kind of the reason why I've consistently said over the time, the caravan ambush, if you can actually achieve victory in the battle, it doesn't matter whether you go in manually or you auto-resolve it, just as long as you win, you're going to get at least 2,000 for the victory, and then you're also going to get about 2,000 for the prisoners that you gain. Obviously, Doctor's Oath increases the amount of prisoners that you get, but you're obviously going to have to, you know, make your own decision on whether you want to continue with, you know, with that particular thing, with your medic, whatever it is. And otherwise, I'm just going to come here and I just pick up a bunch of people in this area. I don't want to do a hostile action, thank you very much. That would be pretty bad. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just going to go over here, pick some of these guys up. And there's a lot of desert bandits in the area as well. There we go. A bunch more of these. And whoa, a lot of Western Empire friends just got themselves taken prisoner. Okay. This might be our chance to shine. What do you bet? Is this our chance to shine, friends? I don't know whether it's going to be, but it would be fantastic if we could actually make this work. And I'm basically wanting to prison break someone. Oh yes, break them out of prison. That would be absolutely fantastic. If we can actually figure out where they are, that's the main problem. I don't know where they're going to be. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? Yes, in general. Okay, so let's just fight this guy. And yeah, as far as I'm aware, yeah, look at this. I am not actually losing any relation. I just wanted to actually confirm that, but you can see in the log, well, actually the log disappeared, but you usually will be able to see. Oh no, wait, no. Oh no, my relation increased. Never mind, my relation increased with someone that's here, which is actually very funny. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, I do want to try and figure out where those guys are being held prisoner. So the Batanians, right? Batanians. So I'm going to assume that they're going to go to one of the towns. Possibly. Not sure if we're going to be able to do this, actually. It's probably not going to work out too well, to be honest. But I'm very much willing to try. Let's just see. Is there... Oh, there is a prisoner in here. Aha. There is actually a prisoner in here, if you can believe it. I didn't think there was, but apparently there is. Okay, let's have a look here. No, this is terrible. We're going to go for Manhunter, I suppose. This gives me a +10 prisoner limit. I guess that's good. And you also get better deals with ransom brokers for regular troops, which I think is, well, that's just wonderful, isn't it? Anyway, let's just see what we can actually do here. Can I not sneak in? Wait, what? Why can't I sneak in? Can I only sneak into towns, or is that like a weird thing? I guess I can only sneak into towns. I haven't done this that much, by the way. That's the reason why I'm literally just questioning it, because I'm like, what? What am I supposed to do here? I don't know. I've done very few prison breaks because I've just not had the opportunity, to be honest. It's been a bit of a rarity. So I'm just gonna go over to Maranath real fast and actually just see whether we can see some people in here. I can't see anyone. They have one prisoner. It's highly unlikely that they're going to be in there. What about over here? No prisoners. I kind of wanted to go into that castle, but wait a minute. I think actually I don't even know. Look, I mean, there's 10, right? There's 10 prisoners, so I'm going to assume that those are the lords, right? All right, let's see. This is going to be 58%. I don't think that's going to work. If only I had a castle or some kind of hideout that I could actually use in this situation. That would be really, really useful for us right now. Because if I could use that hideout, it would be so amazing. Gonna go for some Mamluk guards right here. Oh, we did it. Look at that. Disguised in the garments of a poor pilgrim, you fool the guards and make your way into the town. Alright, I'm super pleased about this. Okay, so we can scout the keep. But we don't really want to do that. I literally just want to walk around because scouting that you have limited access to the keep while in disguise. I mean, yeah. But okay, wait a minute. Look, there's so many of them. Okay, here we go. You have observed the comings and goings of the guards at the keep. You think you've identified a guard who might be approached and offered a bribe. Stage a prison break. Alright, so this will cost me... Oh, no, I can only break out one of them? Are you serious? Okay, I'm gonna get... Okay, I'm gonna get Mr. Mantios right here. Can I not get multiple? No, I can't get multiple. I can only get one. Alright, let's do it. Wow, I literally just paid 8,800. Okay, is this him? You better stay here, you absolute imbecile. He's gonna absolutely fit. No. You come back here, come back here. I can't tell him to come back. Are you serious? Okay, you better just... Oh, no, this is terrible. Okay, I'm gonna have to rush ahead of him. He's being an absolute imbecile. Okay, I have one-handed. This is not going to work out so well. Oh no, he's getting in the way. You know that if he gets knocked unconscious, this is game over. He's literally going to just, you know... It's a fail. You know, that's basically it. It's a fail, 100%. So I have to be super, super careful and rush ahead of him, basically. I can't command him. I have tried. This guy's got a staffed out chin. Not a big fan of that. Thank you very much. That's going to do so much damage. Okay, so come on then, friend. Are you ready? Is he going to talk to me or are we done? I'm actually not entirely sure. No, there we go. You emerge into the streets. No one is yet aware of what happened in the dungeons, and you hustle Mantios towards the gates. You may now leave the settlement. Well, I don't know you, but I'm very grateful. Well, I am Bruce. All I ask is that you remember that name and what I did. Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's 1,000 Bruces out there. I mean, to be fair, there's only like 100 people in the whole place. No, I'm obviously kidding. Anyway, yeah, what will you do now? I'll go and find my men. I will remember your help. Okay, so there you go. We gain 6 roguery skill. All right. 6? Okay, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more than that, considering. I mean, it's not that difficult, I guess. I guess it's not that difficult to do. Because of a recent breakout attempt in this settlement, it is on high alert. The guard won't even be seen talking to you. Ah, there we go. So I literally snuck in for no reason whatsoever. Well, that's absolutely fantastic. I can sell my... That's hilarious. I can sell my prisoners here, which is even funnier. Literally, can you imagine? Can you literally imagine going into a town in disguise and being like, yes, I would like to sell these 42 prisoners from your faction to you right now. Yes. That's very, very amusing. Anyway, we've got this guy that we can potentially fight. Hopefully we'll be able to take him on. This is, I think we could probably deal with him, but it's so dark. Oh, I don't like fighting in the dark. This is going to be a little bit harsh, isn't it? Okay, wait a minute. Where are the enemies? I can't even... I'm going to have to use the icons to be able to even see. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a bit It's going to be a bit harsh. I'm going to have to make this brighter in editing, actually, so you can actually see, too, because otherwise you won't be able to, I don't think. Anyway, hopefully, we will be able to do okay here. I mean, funnily enough, the enemy doesn't see... That's the reason why I was so incredibly pleased and or happy when I got myself, you know, knocked off my mount, because some of the time the AI, it just seems to do this. I don't actually understand that, because they said that they reworked the AI, and while I think they have in certain situations, in this one they seem to be, well, not really doing much. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind if they're not doing much, but I would like it if they would be a little bit offensive. I think they're a bit too defensive right now. They just seem to be I mean, they are attacking some things, I suppose. I did take a little bit of damage there as well. But I was definitely expecting them to be a bit more dangerous when I wade in, you know, wade into their entire enemy line. But I can barely see anything as it is, by the way. So yeah, I hope you can see something, because obviously I've made it a little bit brighter, so maybe it's going to be easier for you. Otherwise, I guess I will just continue slashing away as best as I can. And I'm just hoping that my my forces won't take too much damage, because that's the thing. We are technically pretty deep in enemy territory. I can make my way out of here relatively fast, I think, but it is a bit harsh, maybe. Okay, wait a minute. We've got some mounted troops right here. I'm gonna take out some of these guys. Yes. Okay, here we go. Nice. Okay, yeah. I love that. This weapon, fantastic for dealing with enemy cavalry. I have had such a headache with cavalry in the past, and this weapon really makes them trivial, so that's great. I like that. Or is it? Because they are being defensive. There we go. We got him. Yeah, that's also a situation where I think that the headshot perk definitely helps. Actually attacking someone that has really heavy armor, for example, that's definitely going to make a big difference, because if you can hit them and you do, you know, I don't know, 100 damage or 110, and you hit them on the head and you kill them instantly, then that is the perk coming into effect, because without that additional 50% damage, you probably wouldn't have killed that guy from full health. So that definitely makes a difference. Alright, so there's 20 renown for us, and we actually did end up killing quite a few. I killed 33. I did actually get myself taken out, but that was just because I sped up the battle, and that was it. You know, otherwise if I'd continued running around and everything, that, you know, it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, so we'll just let that guy go. We got 150 in charm now, which is actually very nice. And yeah, I actually want to do a little bit of sorting here. Apparently, I'm not going to be getting the Imperial Elite Cataphract otherwise, which is going to be very sad. So there we have it. We actually did break someone out. Unfortunately, I can't break out multiple people at the same time. I feel like that is actually a bit weird from a realistic standpoint, because if you think about it, I mean, they're all in the same prison, right? They're all in the same prison. If we are able to sneak in and bribe the guard, surely it makes sense that we would be able to break out multiple vassals at once. And if that means that we'd have additional guards or additional difficulty associated with that, then so be it. But I think that the, you know, one by one kind of situation, I think that's, I don't know, I feel like that's a bit sad. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.